this first comedian. He is fantastic. Put your hands together for Lawrence Raia, everybody.
All right, so I come from a pretty big family. A lot of people are funny in it. And this was a problem for me when I was younger because I didn't think I was very funny. So when I was about 3 years old, I came running into my parents' room just crying. And when my parents finally calmed me down about 10 minutes later, they said, "Lawrence, why are you crying? Why are you crying?" And I said, "I'm just not funny." And I was serious. I was sobbing because I thought I wasn't funny at 3 years old. To which my dad replied, "You're pretty freaking hilarious right now." But a lot of people in my family are funny, and they don't know why they're funny. Like, my Nonna is hilarious, and she doesn't get it. And she's funny to us because she always has food, just random amounts of food, and she keeps it in weird places. Like, if the apocalypse happens and you're at her house, you are fine. You're good for, like, 11 years. Like, in her bedroom, she has a folding table with, like, bread and chips and Oreos on it for just no reason, unless she gets really hungry. I don't think that's it. And she has it in, her freezer has this, like, weird dimension that if you reach into it, just has, like, trays of food in it. And we've started to test her to see how prepared she is. Like, my little cousin, at one of the Christmas parties she had, brought his entire soccer team over, and she did not blink an eye. She opened the freezer, reached into that weird dimension, and pulled out like 7 trays of lasagnas and just put them out. And we all looked at her, and she thought it was a normal thing. She's like, "What? This is normal." And she doesn't get that that's weird. And she's mobile with her food too. Like, she was driving my cousin and I, and we asked her if we could stop somewhere and get some food. And she goes, "No, I have food, it's fine." And she reached into her purse. And I thought, she'd have normal food that someone would have in their purse, like, granola bars, gum, chips, something normal. This was not the case. She turns to us and goes, "I have scones, I have corn muffins, I have banana bread and zucchini bread," which was my real problem with it, because she was trying to pitch 2 16-year-old boys zucchini bread. And I don't think any 16-year-old boy has ever genuinely enjoyed zucchini bread. But someone who does enjoy zucchini bread is my other grandmother, my Nana, and so she's a vegetarian, so she kind of has to like zucchini bread. It's, like one of the good things you can have. And we like to tease her about the fact that she's a vegetarian. Like, I'll offer her parts of my burger, she'll politely decline. I'm still hopeful, but sometimes it goes a little too far. Like, my uncle tried to convince her that the reason he went to Hooters was because the chicken wings there were amazing. He has not recovered yet. And the other problem with that was that she is a huge feminist. So that was just like two bad things at once. And she was like protesting in the 70s, and she was in there. And she used to bring my mom with her on to the protests, and that ended quickly. Because at the age of like 3 or 4, my grandfather walks down, and there's my mom, 4 years old, got the pigtails, just marching around the kitchen going, 1, 2, 3, 4, we don't want your effing war. Because, it's catchy, it rhymes, and kids love that stuff. But the protests also brought on another thing. My mom and my uncle would walk downstairs, and occasionally there'd just be a Post-it on the fridge. And let's say the Post-it said, "No grapes." That's all it would say. And they didn't know if that meant they were out of grapes, or they were protesting the treatment of grape farmers somewhere. They didn't know what was going on. Another thing that's weird to me are vampires and what they've become. And the teen vampire thing has ruined the young adult genre. And that's a problem for me because I love to read. I'm one of those weird kids. And when I was younger, like 10, 11 years old, I was really into like the Harry Potter, the Percy Jackson, the good young adult stuff. And when Twilight showed up, all of the bookstores like Barnes & Noble and Borders, rest in peace, all of those would be wall to wall with Twilight, and Percy Jackson and all the other good ones would be in this like sad little corner with like a beanbag chair, and that's where I would live for like the hour that we went there. And another problem I have with teen vampires is that vampires used to be really, really cool. Like, they were scary. If you look at like the original descriptions of vampires, like they wore like capes and suits and like dipped bread in the blood of their victims, because why not? But now vampires wear hoodies and skinny jeans and they can run slightly better than a normal person. They switched out the turning into the bat for running kind of fast. Why? Just, you had a really cool, like, shape-shifting thing going on, and it's ruined. They both use too much hair gel, so that stayed the same. So that's good. At least they're sticking with that. I'm just I really want to see what a tween vampire looks like. Because like we have like the teen vampires that are like attractive and sparkly and whatever, but I want to see like the 12-year-old vampire who's like kind of glittery, like not fully sparkly. He still has pimples and like a headgear. Like I want to see the awkward vampires. I would pay money to see that. And I have a way to fix teen vampires. Just send them over to my Nana's. She will whip them into shape. Thanks, I'm Lawrence.
Keep it going for Lawrence, everybody.